Hi everyone. So my name is M, and I'm the this is well, this is the voice behind the M's Melody channel. So this is my first voiceover, and I'm going to be kind of just rambling about my book, my characters, and the drawing itself. So, starting off with the drawing, this is the fourth redraw of an original piece I did back in 2017. I'm very proud of how far I've come because I kind of do these redraws to track my artistic progress in a way. And for this drawing in particular, I attempted a drawing technique called foreshortening. Now, I'm not the best at foreshortening whatsoever, and this is my first proper time, even attempting it. So, apologies if the anatomy looks really bad. So, continuing on, this drawing features 6 characters: Xavier Ubido, Melody Woods, Celestia Bones, Emerald Oberon, Oro Pollen, and Oliver Vengeance. And I'll be going over all of these characters later in the video, but for right now, I'm going to talk about the book. Oh, also, at the end of this video, there will be a little slideshow thing showing from 2017 to now. I'll just wanted to throw that out there. So, the book centers around an 18-year-old kid named Xavier Ubido. And he's basically isekai'd into the world of Odessa. And in Odessa, a lot is going wrong. There's lots of violence, swearing. The swearing is the main reason why on Wattpad, which is a place you can read my book, why I have it under the mature content section. It's solely because of the amount of foul language used in the book. Yeah. So, Xavier is just teleported to this new world with the help of Melody. And I'll be getting to all of them soon. Just bear with me for a second. So, Melody is from Odessa and originated in Odessa. She's lost a lot, and what she calls home now is the High Elf Kingdom. And the book will switch perspective from Melody to Xavier, back and forth and stuff like that. And I feel like, one, it's a good writing exercise. Pardon me. And it's also just a good way to give some variety in the book, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. So, some of the characters that you meet within the first couple of chapters are Melody, Xavier, obviously, Oliver, which is another character featured in this, Oro, a character featured in this drawing, Breyer Huion, and Gaia Pollen. Now, Gaia and Breyer are not featured in this drawing. They're kind of important side characters, but Gaia is the High Elf Queen, and Brayer is one of the best healers, but best elven healers in Odessa. So, apologies for the background noise, my air conditioner's going off, and very annoying. It's like dying in here. Anyways, so actually, this is a good spot to transition into the drawing because I'm currently working on Oro's position in composition. Yeah, he was a pain in the butt to do. Like, oh god. I sat there for so long just trying to, like, finagle him around. Movie. Oh. Apologies for that. Just like, he was such a pain in the butt, and here I was a dumbass, and I got rid of the guidelines I had made on the background, and yeah, it was a mess. I still don't think he turned out too well, but by the time I thought of that, I was already so far into the drawing that I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Just screw it. So, yeah. Pardon me? So, working on Oro, and like I said, I'll be going a little more in depth with the characters as they come, but for right now, back to the book, because I keep getting sidetracked. Oh god. So, the overarching story for the book is that Odessa has been at war with itself for over 2 centuries now, and it's getting to the point where more and more innocents are being dragged into the violence. And basically there's like this prophecy thing, and you know, kind of like I'm using cliches but also trying to turn them on their head. So, yeah. But, like, there's this prophecy thing that says something to, like, the degree... I don't remember what I wrote, but it says something to the degree of, he who finds this room will bring about the peace of Odessa, or something like that. It's in, like, the 4th chapter, I think? Oh my god. Oh, I can't stop yawning. Oh my goodness. So, anyway. But, yeah, so the book currently has 11 parts up on my Wattpad. I don't remember if I said this already, and I apologize if I did, but, yeah, so book has 11 parts up. I'm working on the 12th chapter currently, and here is where I open all of my riff sheets for my characters. So starting off with Xavier. Now, Xavier is, well, he thinks he is a human boy from Earth, which he is for the most part. And he is the main male protagonist of the story. And between him and Melody's dynamic is basically like, Melody is the very violent and forward one, whereas Xavier is more of like the, I don't want to use violence as my first attack. Oh my god. So, yeah. He's a very, he's he's kind of like leader-like to a degree, but also yeah. He's leader-like to a degree, but also he is like a follower, I guess, is how I can put that. That was a side tangent and a half. Yeah, so I wrote on the drawing that ref kills me. All of these ref sheets kill me because they're they're old and outdated, basically. So, yeah. And here I was trying to do some like dynamic lighting and stuff. A little more about Xavier is he really does look up to Melody, not only in the sense that maybe he likes her, but also in the sense that she is the first person to accept him for him. Because on Earth, he was constantly picked on and called a fraud and a liar for having 2 different colored eyes. And this part of him has always stuck with him, and it's just, it's kind of like rotted away at him, because he's not lying about having... Oh my god, I can't stop yawning. I am so sorry. He's basically just called a liar constantly for having 2 different colored eyes. And Melody is the first person to show that she doesn't think that he's lying. And on to Melody. So, Melody Woods is an elfin girl from Odessa, and she isn't originally from the High Elf Kingdom. She is what is known as a wood elf, and they got exterminated due to the clan war type thing that's going on between the angels and demons of the realm. So, Melody is a scout, and her main task is to protect the kingdom from what are known as sylphs. And sylphs are basically like this air spirit that are said to be very friendly, but what actually happens with sylphs, and this is also explained in the book, but what happens with sylphs is they feed off of fear energy. And that's a whole concept I go a little more in depth in the book, so to not like bog down those who already know. But yeah, for those who don't know, fear energy is a secondary life force people have in this universe, and it's basically how the sylphs feed, and they're sort of known for, like, I guess, being tricksters and killing people because of this, like, energy, I guess. So part of Melody being a scout, she can see these sylphs before they attack. And that's a big feature with the sylphs, is that they're invisible until they start sucking your life away. However, with Melody being a wood elf and her very strong connection to the elements, she can see the sylphs before they attack anyone. And she's grown to be quite the fierce warrior. She's basically like a sister to some of the characters, like Oliver. And speaking of Oro, what's his relation to all the characters? So Oro, really quick, is basically Melody's foster uncle, I think is how that works, because she was taken in by Gaia, who is Oro's sister, as like her child, basically. And yeah, so on to the next character, which is Celestia Bones. She is what is known as a silver wolf, and they do not have the best reputation in the book. So silver wolves are mainly known for being backstabbers and really rude people in general. Celestia is the kind of like princess or like leader of the Silver Wolf tribe currently, because her parents died during a raid that happened when she was like 10, I think. But yeah. So Celestia and Melody have a very long history. And that history is kind of muddled because neither of them fully remember what happened, but they think they remember what happened. And that's a point that's touched on later in the book, so I don't want to get too in-depth in it because it is kind of like spoiler territory to a degree. But anyway, so Celestia doesn't have the best reputation. Well, her tribe in general doesn't have the best reputation with people because of their past and how they would just like, they're known to backstab people. But because Gaia is the queen, Celestia tried to make amends with the High Elves and came to them in the book for help against a current raid that is happening. So Gaia agrees on the condition of Celestia will report to Gaia about everything that is going on and like the changes and stuff, so that Celestia can keep like a good grip on her. Because, oh my god, I messed up their names, sorry. So Gaia can keep a good grip on Celestia because Celestia and her tribe are known for being backstabbers, basically. Also, random side note, I gave her a belt in the line work originally, but her design doesn't include a belt, and I have no idea why I gave her a flippin' belt, and it drives me up the wall. Yeah, so not a whole lot to say on Celestia because she, for the most part, is a minor, like, main character. But, she tags along with the team, and her and Melody end up making amends for the past. But, yeah. That's all I can really say, because, their past is explored in the book, but for the most part, Melody believes that Celestia's tribe was the one who burned down her original village. And so, ever since then, Melody has kind of like sworn vengeance on Celestia's tribe. But because Gaia sent them to help and restore like the peace to Celestia's camp, Melody has been able to like put her grievances aside and help out Celestia, even though she's kind of a bitch. But yeah. So, what else can I ramble about? Well, Celestia's nearly done, and the next character is also rather short, I think. So, after this, I think it's either, like, Oliver Emerald that gets brought up. I think it's Oliver, though. And Oliver's just really interesting. So yeah, enjoy this bit of silence, I guess. Alright, so on to Oliver Vengeance. So this kid is a male angel, which is notable because of how breeding statistics work between angels and demons. So female angels are much more common than male angels, and male demons are much more common than female demons, because female demons usually turn into succubi. Now, with Oliver's current situation, it is detailed in the book, but this is a bit of, like, general knowledge, I guess. His whole breeding thing is kind of fucked. So, when a male angel is born, usually a female demon is born. So, like, because the way it works in the world is that everyone has a oh my god, okay. In the world, everyone has, like, a guardian angel and a guardian demon. Now, depending on which side they listen to more will depend on whether or not they go to the angel realm when they die or the demon realm when they die. So that's kind of like a whole lore thing. But with Oliver, there wasn't a female demon born. There was a male demon. And this is morbid, but the heads of both the Angel Clan and Demon Clan debated whether or not to kill both Oliver and this male demon because they were basically mistakes. Yeah, so his whole connection to the characters is explored in the book, and it's a bit of spoiler territory if I were to go in and talk about it, but can't stop yawning. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. But yeah, bit of spoiler territory if I were to continue with him, but he is rather, like, timid, spunky, doesn't really like to talk about things all that much because he just knows so much, and because Xavier isn't from this world and Melody has a very strong belief in, like, the angels and stuff, he doesn't want to, like, ruin their hopes, I guess. Yeah. Here, actually, in the drawing, I was messing around with an overlay layer because the red just looked way too vibrant. So I basically compromised and went with a slightly darker palette. But yeah. And something new that I've kind of started doing with my artwork is adding this, like, luminosity layer on the line work to give it, like, a bit of shine, and I've really been liking that. But next up is Emerald Oberon. Oh boy. So this is basically the smartest, well, one of the smarter ones in the group. He knows a lot and is what is known as a ceiling mage. Now, ceiling mages also don't have the best reputation. Excuse me. They don't have the best reputation because they're known for being very pompous, arrogant, and just not very fun people to be around. So, Emerald is one of the stronger mages in this particular ceiling mage camp, but because the leader is so adamant that he is the top dog, like, Emerald is just he's just a castaway basically. But yeah, he grows very quickly to Melody because in like the first couple of chapters, shenanigans happen and Emerald ends up joining their side basically. Oh my god, I can't stop yawning. Ugh. But yeah. So, playing with the pant color, because like his color palette has changed too many times, honestly. Because he originally wore like a dark blue shirt and a lime green cape, and then I changed that to like similar tones, and then his color palette has been all over the goddamn place. But yeah, I like this color combo of like a more bluey purple with the darker emerald green cape. Yeah. So Emerald knows a lot about the world, and he thinks he knows a lot about the like angels and stuff. And something I haven't mentioned is Emerald also knows about this race called the, air quotes here, angel worshippers. And this is a whole plot point brought up in the book, and like it's touched upon a lot because there is so much misinformation about this supposedly extinct race. Because people believe that they were exterminated in the first like holy war. And he knows a lot about that because his camp just had access to a lot of those older texts. And that's kind of why they didn't want to share with anyone, was because of those older texts that they had. But yeah. So throughout the book, Emerald grows very, very close to Melody and Xavier. He sees Melody as basically a sister, and he views Xavier as a leader but also his understudy, because Xavier isn't very good with magic, but Emerald can see that he does have some kind of magical potential, and he just doesn't know how to use it yet. And next up, we have Oro. Oh boy. So Oro is kind of like a comedic relief character, but he's also like the brute of the gang. So, oh my god, this is another thing I didn't mention, but almost everyone in this group can speak more than 2 languages. Oro, on the other hand, can only speak Elvish. And something they have in this world is a language called Common. And Common is just like what it says, a common dialect that most creatures can understand. Oro, however, never learned Common. He only... Jeez Louise. He only ever learned Elvish. And, yeah, that becomes a problem very quickly, because when Celestia's camp basically just waltzes into the High Elf Kingdom, Oro can't understand a word they're saying, because he doesn't speak Common. So that's like his whole thing, is that he can't speak Common, and Xavier ends up helping Oro. Like, Xavier basically turns into Oro's translator, because most things don't understand his Elvish, which is like a very old type of Elvish, not the one most people are used to nowadays. But Xavier basically acts as a translator for Oro because he can't understand a majority of what's going on. Later down the line, when they meet a select cast, they begin speaking Elvish so that Xavier doesn't have to translate as much to Oro. But yeah, so like I mentioned in Melody's segment, Oro is Melody's step-uncle. And the two usually get along. They have this kind of like sibling relationship where it's like, Melody, what did you do? I didn't do anything, Oro. That kind of thing. But yeah. They're just a crazy bunch, and Oro is very dedicated to those he loves. It's kind of like that meme where it's like, one character's like, if anything happened to them, I would kill everyone in the universe and then myself. Oro is the embodiment of that, like, trope type thing. Because if anything happened to Melody or Gaia, he would go on a straight-up rampage and kill everything in the known world, and then himself. Basically. That's a fun character trait. But, yeah, so Oro is kind of like the comedic relief, but he's also really strong and does teach Xavier a thing or two about, fighting specific creatures. And we're getting to the end of the drawing here, but, yeah, so that's the whole cast, and I'm so happy with where this book has come. And a fun fact about all of these drawings is that I've used the exact same shade of like a burnt out purple across since 2017. I love that color, and something I've been trying is adding in like these little color bubbles behind the characters, which I really like, and I just think it adds a bit of personality. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble for however long, and I hope you have a good day. Enjoy this little slideshow thing. Bye!